now we have an NSA that's doing a program, the PRISM program. We covered that not too long ago. They were spying on over 100 million Verizon customers. Now, naively, for about a day or two, everybody thought, well, it's only Verizon customers, it's not any more than that. Then we learned they're doing this Blarney program, which I know sounds like a dirty sex act, but in reality, it's another spying program. Then we learned that they're doing the X-Keyscore program, or XKS as it's called for short, which is basically where they admit we're spying on everything. We got your emails, we got your phone calls, we got your text messages. No matter what you've ever done electronically, there is some sort of trace, and we have it stored somewhere, okay? This way, if you eventually ever cause a ruckus and, you know, rock the boat a little bit, scare the status quo, we got all this information available, and we can just do character assassination. And, of course, there's been other examples of NSA abuses, like, for example, back under the Bush administration, there were NSA people spying on international sex phone calls between our soldiers and their significant others. Stay classy. We learned recently that, you know, same people who are operating these programs, hundreds of thousands of contractors, what were they doing? Spying on their ex-boyfriends and girlfriends. We also learned that they use as grounds enough to follow you. They had a list of 6 people specifically that they released, according to Edward Snowden, but there's much, much more. One of the people was an American who simply believed that 9/11 was an inside job. That's grounds to follow somebody. That's grounds to basically look specifically at somebody's personal life and violate their privacy. Well, apparently, according to the NSA, it is, although rational people would probably say you have no basis to think that person's a terrorist or ever did anything wrong, and where's your goddamn warrant? No, now they just use a provision of the Patriot Act that wasn't even meant for this, Section 214, and I know that because the author said it wasn't meant for this. They just use that as their argument for, oh no, we're allowed to do it and back off, don't question us. And of course, other courts, not just secret FISA courts, but other courts also have backed this up. I mean, how pathetic are those judges? I'm starting to think they're probably corrupt and they probably get some money from, you know, different contracting agencies, because there's no way you can objectively look at the Constitution or our law books and say, yeah, this is legal to just take everybody's information and one warrant applies to everybody, including Grandma Maud in the middle of Idaho who watches reruns of Matlock and bakes apple pies all day. It doesn't make any sense. But now we learn, I mean, this sounds like, it honestly sounds like the Daily Current, or it sounds like The Onion, all these satire sites. The NSA has now infiltrated the video game community. World of Warcraft and Second Life. And by the way, if there were ever 2 games where I thought people would not be dangerous at all, it would probably be World of Warcraft and Second Life. And I mean, look at this. The NSA and GHQ built massive collection capabilities against the Xbox Live console network. Why? Why do you need that? And, well, of course, they say, oh, it's to attract terrorists. There's going to be so many terrorists here. They tried to recruit gamers to try to, you know, be spies and get inside and then, you know, tell everybody afterwards, oh yeah, this Dan in Minneapolis is totally a terrorist. I'm telling you, it really sounds like satire. I want to read this quote again. Quote, intelligence agencies feared that among these clans of innocent elves and goblins, terrorists were lurking. And again, I love how in their own report they admit that they were wrong. They say, quote, there's no indication that the surveillance ever foiled any terrorism plots, nor were terror groups using the virtual communities. So now are we going to take is anybody going to take their own evidence, bring it to court, and say, look, they're admitting that it's not working, and they're admitting that they're violating privacy. They're admitting they're spying on everybody who uses video games now. Isn't this a clear violation of the Fourth Amendment, protection from unreasonable search and seizure? And watch, the court will say no again, and everybody that has 2 brain cells to rub together will look at them like they have 86 heads and they're from Neptune, because it is insane to allow this stuff, man. This is exactly what the Constitution protects against.